Hello everyone and welcome, this is John from Twirled and Twisted, and today I'm trying something a little bit different. If you've watched my previous video where I talked about the upcoming changes to my channel, you'll know that I talked about not just creating 3D sculptures but also using strips of paper to make 2D images, and this is what I'm going to try and do today. I have quite a lot that I'd like to say about this piece, so I think it might be better if I do it in two parts, so like part one being showing you the creation of the piece and talking through the decisions that I made on why I created it the way I did, and the second part would focus on why I felt it was so important to create this piece, like what it actually means to me. Now before I could start actually making a piece, first I had to come up with the idea, and so I sat for what felt like hours with just bits of ideas floating around, like nothing was fully formed. I could kind of see, oh, this would be a nice idea, but this could be a kind of good idea, and nothing was fully developed. Nothing was solid enough for me to say, yes, that's what I want to make. And this continued for quite some time, and then it came to me, sort of like the visual representation of this idea, the feeling of just all these thoughts going around in your head. Like I call it the mind muddle. I think it's a feeling that many people can relate to. In this instance, it was arty ideas, ideas for pieces just kind of floating around and mulling over. But for other people, it could be, you know, you might just have a million things on your to-do list. Like you think, oh, I know I need to stop by, you know, I need to go to the bank, I need to go shopping, I need to go, oh, I've meant to catch up with those friends, I've still not paid that bill. You know, there might be a million things on your to-do list, and you know, you're not really aware of your surroundings, but you can just feel everything going around in your head. It's a feeling that I get a lot when I go to bed at night. I might not be able to sleep because I'm just thinking of random thoughts, like it's not really to do with anything. That's the kind of feeling that I was having while trying to come up with an idea. So I decided to represent that piece visually. Okay, so starting off, I chose to do white strips on an off-white background so that they're kind of visible, but they're not really the focus point. So, you know, you can see the outline of the shape, but it doesn't draw your eye too much because it blends in. It's quite subtle. And I decided I would leave the outline of the person quite blank because that's exactly how I look during these moments. Like I will be sat staring into space, like, you know, the lights on but nobody's home kind of look. People think I'm daydreaming or that I'm a million miles away, and in a sense I am, but I'm actually focused on trying to sort through these ideas. So I knew I wanted whatever represented the ideas to be really bright and colourful and to be the kind of drawing point to this piece. So you can see now that I have like a person in sort of like a cloud or a thought bubble. I chose to put the thought bubble around the head and not above because, you know, this is where your headspace is. You are in the midst of this cloud of thought. I'm going to be starting the colour bits. This is the part where I experimented with my camera and using the time-lapse function. Normally I speed up my videos during the editing process, but I decided to give this a go and see how this would work. It's worked quite well. It meant that it saved me a lot of time editing, but I do wish it could have been a little bit slower. You don't really get to see as much of what I'm doing, but I do like that because it was so repetitive that you kind of see the piece forming rather quickly. Now, as I was making this piece, like I kind of wanted to go for kind of like a fluidity kind of feel. So you kind of get the sense of kind of like this watery, fluidy mist of thoughts kind of swirling round. And that's the kind of thing I was going for. You know, they've got no direction. There's no kind of colour scheme. They're all random, and some are bigger than others, some are fully formed, some are not. It kind of representing the ideas as they were, you know, that they're not cohesive, they're not fully formed, that there's no sort of like real sense of them, they're completely random. So that's what I was going for. Okay, I'm going to pause the video there. This might look like a finished piece to you, but to me, as I did that last part, I felt like I was getting more into the flow, like it was starting to look the way that I had intended it to look, and it didn't really feel balanced in comparison to the rest of it. So I did something that many of you might find quite drastic. That's it, shock horror, I'm ripping bits off. Like, I am not afraid to throw things away and start again if it's not the way that I wanted it to look. And that's exactly what I did here. But I am kind of glad I did it. I do feel like by the end it was a bit more cohesive as an art piece. Things were a little bit more balanced and it looked sort of like more of the way that I imagined that it would. So I have no regrets in doing that at all. Okay, so this is my finished piece. I am going to put a side-by-side comparison of what it looked like before I ripped bits off to what it looks like now, so you can make your own judgment on whether I made the right decision. Like, do you think I should have left it as it was? Do you think I've made the right decision in changing it up the way I did? Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it and would like to see me make more of these kind of pieces in the future, please give me a thumbs up and a subscribe to let me know you want to see more. Please stick around for the part 2 where I explain why this was such a big deal for me to make, why this was so important. Until next time, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye!